Oh man! All right. Hello, everybody. What was that for the people who don't know?
It was the 1989 Batman theme because it's Batman Day, baby.
Batman Day. Which one? Which Batman was that? Was that Adam West Batman?
That was I don't want to get those.
Shit, I don't know. All right, well, I got us out here exposing ourselves real early. Everybody ignore that last part. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Daily Kazoo. You are here with one of your co-hosts, JPhrygian. To this side of me is my boy,
KingVonSchweetz.
I was like, is he ever going to say his name?
As you can see, I thought we were trying to do the Dragon Ball
fusion. But as you can see, we are missing one of our co-hosts this week. You know, last week, Jacob and I were missing. This week, Adam is missing. The official Megs. He's out on vacation. Everybody wish him well. I believe it's his wife's birthday. Let's wish a happy birthday to his wife. Happy birthday. But yeah, we are here joined with you for another week. Last week, it was a little bit different. Last week, our very own KingVonSchweetz, he was out at D23, giving us the live scoop via Twitter. And that is actually what Adam and our guests used to kind of cover D23 live. That is, for those of you listening to the audio version on Apple and Spotify, that is a YouTube live exclusive. The audio for that is actually not going to go up. So you're going to have to go over to our YouTube channel if you want to see it. I got to work on getting that back up. But that's a whole nother story for another day. But yeah, let's get into it. First off, for Adam's usual, the best thing I've seen all week, I have a little bit of a different thing for that. So this week, us as content creators got some very interesting news. There was some leaked audio from a YouTube staff meeting or corporate meeting, whatever, some type of meeting where YouTube, this tweet comes from Matt Navarra on Twitter. You can check it out at the video version. You can see it on my Twitter page right here. Or if the audio, you guys, you can go over to the YouTube and see what we're looking at. But the leaked audio said that YouTube is to launch ads in YouTube Shorts with a revenue share for creators. It will pay 45% of YouTube Shorts ad money versus the 55% for regular YouTube ads. So for us content creators who are out here trying to figure out some ways to make a little bit of a buck, if you're listening to the podcast and you're on TikTok like we are, you might want to take some of your TikTok content and port it over to a YouTube Shorts page, start building up those subscribers, get it. YouTube Shorts has been out for, I think, about a year now, maybe a little over a year. And it's still in its early stages. So remember, TikTok in its early stages, a lot of people were able to just take advantage of the algorithm being simple, going viral, getting a bunch of followers really easily. So I'm just saying, if you're listening, I'm putting you on free game here. Jacob, what do you think?
I think you're dumb not to. Jordan told me this the other day, and I was like, I need to start posting things on like YouTube. I don't post anything. I have a channel, but if people find that channel, that's on them because I don't post it anywhere. But now I'm like, man, I need to spruce up my YouTube. Just start posting TikTok on there because I can get paid for one video on TikTok and on YouTube. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Very good deal. Very good deal.
A lot unless it unless it hits numbers, but you can still get a pretty penny off of just posting two places now. So,
and see, there's actually a little bit more news there too. A little bit more was said that YouTube's also going to let creators use popular songs. Hopefully this is all alleged, is leaked audio. An announcement is supposed to be coming, I think, next week, based on the time of this recording. We're recording on Saturday, the 17th. This will drop probably like Monday or Tuesday. But YouTube's also going to let creators use popular songs in long and short videos. So it sounds like maybe they may have reached some type of deal with the record labels, kind of like, or streaming services, kind of like TikTok, because TikTok, we still get paid from the creator fund, even though we use copyrighted music or copyrighted sounds. And they'll be able to make money from these videos, and they're talking about lowering the minimum requirements for the partnership program. So again, you go ahead and take care of that, take advantage of that early virality, rack up some subs. When they launch all this stuff, you could just be making money just posting the same TikTok videos on YouTube, and go ahead and take advantage of it before they do like Instagram does, and they start suppressing the videos if you got the TikTok logo, and then you got to go through a whole nother debacle to get rid of the TikTok watermark. But yeah, I thought that was great because your boy has been on his YouTube game a little bit more. So if you're a content creator out there and you're listening to the podcast, you might want to be looking at YouTube Shorts to go ahead and start building another following. So moving on from that, let's get into comics. So Jacob, I don't think we have a ton of comic news this week, but what did we get?
And I want to preface this because I feel like I don't. Comic news every week is really just like what comics I'm reading.
That's fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like there are other comics out there that are popping off and they're doing really well. Like DC has like their whole universe crossover thing going on right now. But for me, I'm just sticking with what I know best, which is Spider-Man. So that being said, Spider-Man: Edge of the Spider-Verse number 4 now has just come out, and I think it's number 4. Is it number 4 or number 3? It's one of the 5 issues that's going to be coming out. I think it's only
one of them things.
Anyway, all that to say, it's out. You need to go read it. We get the return of Spider-Man India in this one, and we get a debut ? Because Black Cat is a spider person in another universe, and she's known as Night Spider. So we get a little bit of a look at her new costume for that, which in my opinion just looks very similar to her regular costume, but she got a spider symbol on her now, so it's different. But all that to say, I would go check it out. It's solid. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Awesome. Well, none of these are on Marvel Unlimited, are they?
I think they are, but
it's like a slower rollout.
It's a slower rollout, yeah. So Marvel's smart about they don't want to put stuff out, too quickly.
Yeah. They want to get those physical sales. I get it. I'm just curious. It's been a minute since I've read any comics actually either. I liked the disclaimer that you gave too. That's a very fair point. I was reading Secret Wars, and then life got busy, and I just haven't continued. But I will. Also, if you hear a crying baby in the background, guys, that's just life, okay? We record these podcasts when we can and how we can. Just prefacing that because I know I heard her. I don't know if the mic actually picked it up, but we'll see. We'll see in post.
I didn't hear her.
Well, then nobody probably heard her, and I just told myself for no reason.
I don't know. Jordan has a brand new baby, so.
I do, and I'm still coming to you every week that I can for this podcast. Yeah. So go ahead and hit the like button on the video if you're watching, and rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. Boosting the algorithm, help us get to new listeners, man. We do this for you guys. So going on to games, our very own KingVonSchweetz let me know that and I was blissfully unaware of this, but as you guys can see in the title of this video and title of this podcast episode, how many of you knew that Yuri Lowenthal was the voice of Fortnite game radio? Because I didn't know.
Yeah, I was playing last night with Jordan, and I didn't say anything, but I guess I should have. But we were in the car, or I was in a car, and I was driving, and all of a sudden you hear this voice that say, "You're listening to Rock Radio on Fortnite." And then I was just like, that voice sounds so familiar. And I was like, you know what? It really sounds a lot like Spider-Man from the PS4 Spider-Man game. And obviously, just for a little bit there, the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. So I was just like, what is going on here? And then I just tweeted because I was curious, and I wasn't gonna do the extra research, but I put out there, I was like, is Yuri Lowenthal the voice of Spider-Man? Is he the voice of Fortnite Radio? And then sure enough, Yuri Lowenthal messaged me back, and this is like the second or third time that Yuri Lowenthal has tweeted back to me. So,
and that's what I was blissfully unaware of. I was like, oh, y'all just out here having casual conversations on Twitter.
This guy is like, he's just so great with his fans. Like,
He's
I
super
know,
cool.
I know being a voice actor probably isn't as busy as being, you know, a random movie star in like the MCU, but still, like, he doesn't need to do any of that. But the fact that he like messages people back, like if they tag him in something, that's just really cool. So, but yeah, he answered me back and he said, yeah, I am the voice of Fortnite Radio. So I just think it's funny because in Fortnite now we were rumored to have Brie Larson and maybe Chris Pratt coming into Fortnite. We've already got The Rock. We've got like all these other actors that are in, like Joel McHale is in Fortnite. So there's just a lot of random like people in Fortnite. And then out of nowhere, I was like, is Yuri Lowenthal the voice of Fortnite Radio? Sure enough.
I just want you to know that randomly answering back and forth just a little bit on Twitter is how, you know, I eventually met Cleo Thomas. So, I mean, you know, never think
that's
that
the way you gotta do it.
Yeah, never. What's the word? Never underestimate the power of just having a few casual conversations over Twitter, because
You know what?
they can go a long way.
If you're listening to the podcast, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, go ahead and tweet out to your favorite creator in the whole world, whether it's a voice actor, a movie star, whatever. Tweet out to them. Also tag us in the tweet because I want to see if they respond back. Because I have a feeling a good amount of them would respond back.
Yeah, they're like, it's weird. Some people, it's like it's way nicer than you think. It's just a matter of like having a small conversation or giving a little bit of appreciation. I think like literally what started for me was someone tweeted, who inspired you to start creating content? And I was like, yo, this group called the Arcade Tokens at Patrick Cloud, Cleo Thomas, and it was like two Black content creators who they decided they wanted to do gaming. It was like Cleo's an actor, Patrick was in like social media doing comedy like type skit stuff with All Dev Digital, but they decided, oh, I want to start streaming on Twitch. And I was like, oh, I want to do that too. And sure enough, he was just like, dude, that makes me so happy to see that. And then next thing you know, we follow each other on Twitter. We have interactions over Twitch, met in person, dreams come true. Dreams don't die. I don't know why I said that.
I will say, like, it really is like wild the amount of people that respond back. Because I've got tweeted back by John Mayer. I got tweeted back by Edgar Wright.
John Mayer.
Yeah. John Mayer. Still John Mayer. No, Edgar Wright, the director of Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver. I'm just saying, like, people tweet back. So just go ahead and tag them. Say something and tag them.
Take a chance. Yeah. So that's cool stuff. That was really cool stuff. And that's exciting because it just makes you wonder how many other people Fortnite plans to contract out or license out. Because Yuri Lowenthal been in everything in my childhood as far as like watching. And now to know he been in games I play and now he's in Fortnite. It's just Fortnite is basically the video game metaverse. Legitimately.
Yep, it really is.
Moving on from Fortnite, but still kind of in the same vein. As many of you do know, Ninja ended his Twitch partnership and now streams everywhere. Really, that has nothing to do with the next thing I'm going to say. It's just that Ninja plays Fortnite. He raged off a game of Fortnite, and now he streams everywhere like a week later. So it kind of segues in, and we're just going to take it. Clap for me, everyone. So this is actually old news, but we weren't able to cover it last week because D23 was going on. So Twitch is doing away with their host mode, which For a site now, in hindsight, this isn't really like a huge deal because there are still raids. Basically, hosting is what you could do if you weren't raiding somebody. So when I'm offline, like I'm not streaming, I can host you, Jacob, and therefore you will show up and it'll be like, while I'm offline, watch KingVonSchweetz or whatever. They're doing away with that, which means auto host will be changed to suggested channels in your settings, because you can also set up an auto host list to basically say, like, if I'm not online, host Jacob. If Jacob's not online, host this person. If they're not online, host that person. And it sounds like they'll keep suggested channels. I don't know if that just means you'll still see that, I don't know if that means that you'll see that you're live right there, or if it just, I don't know, or if it's just like, here's someone whose link you can click on. We'll see. But as long as they keep raids, I'm relatively okay. It does kind of suck because Twitch mainly is live streaming. Most of the time, the way people are going to find you on Twitch is if you are live. If they don't find you on Twitch, they're finding you like Jacob on TikTok. They're coming over to your Twitch. They're finding you on YouTube, coming over to your Twitch. So we'll see. It's one of those things that it's like, the site doesn't have a whole lot of discoverability, and y'all are like changing out the discoverability options. So we'll see how it turns out for them. This comes at a time where, as we said in the beginning of the podcast, YouTube is making some huge announcements, and then Twitch is taking away discoverability options. I'm like, it's not really going to help too much with people moving over and dipping like ninja, but we'll see how it goes. Also in the gaming space, something that live streamed on Twitch earlier this week was the PlayStation State of Play.
What a disappointment that was.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I guess I didn't really think of it in this way, but somebody I was watching, I think his name is Comic Book Keenan, I think it was Comic Book Keenan on YouTube. It's a really neat channel. He actually started when they announced, he started like 7 months ago. So he started like shortly after they announced Marvel Spider-Man 2 or something like that. And he's basically been covering all of the news for that. Like, that's his entire channel. I believe he mentioned that, like, it was either him or it was News to Astonish, but that, like, I guess some of the reason that this wasn't as big as we would have thought was that it was a state of play and not a showcase, which I think I've been kind of confused about the difference, because every time, like, when they announced a state of play, and it's been like a year since a lot of their big announcements last year, I had in my mind, like, oh, it's been a year since they announced like Spider-Man 2 and like Wolverine and like God of War Ragnarok. Like, we're going to see a bunch of cool stuff. It wasn't clicking in my mind that it wasn't a showcase. It was just a state of play. And a lot of people were like, yeah, and they announced it like 24 hours before. So, like, oftentimes that doesn't mean a big deal is going to happen. So we got a look at a couple of PS5 exclusives like Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin that are coming. A couple of ports from Japanese studios like Ishin Like a Dragon. And then probably the biggest thing we got to look at was a more in-depth look of God of War Ragnarok. But other than that, there were some VR titles and some, AA type stuff. Some, apparently Hogwarts Legacy is going to get an exclusive mission to the PS5. I'm like, okay.
That I was excited about, because I was just like,
or is it like a whole side quest? Like, if it's just like one mission, that's boring.
And it seems like it's kind of like it's got like a horror theme to it. And I'm pumped for that, because I don't like scary stuff that much, but as far as it goes with Harry Potter, and especially like it being a PlayStation exclusive, I'm pumped to play it. I'm not gonna miss out. So I think that'll be fun. But like overall, I just, looking back at it, I think that a lot of people have been cashing in on this this, I don't know what you want to call it, but this RPG.
We hate JK.
Well, yeah, JK Rowling too, but people want to cash in on this this RPG play style of like Ghost of Tsushima and even like Skyrim and a couple of those games. Like, And you can kind of see it now with like some of the games that Sony was announcing and like showing off. It all kind of feels like it's just like bargain bin stuff that's kind of being maybe this is just me, but that's what it feels like to me, that it's just like recycled kind of stuff. And like Tekken being another game that was like coming out, I was like, do we really need another Tekken? Like,
Probably not. I'm gonna probably play it, but no.
They're that confident in making it, but I'm just like, as someone who doesn't really play Tekken, I'm not looking at this trailer going, oh, I need to buy that. I'm like, you're just gonna get the same people that have been playing to continue playing, you know?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, that's what the FGC, like what's fighting game developers write off, is the FGC, the fighting game community. I mean, yeah, Street Fighter 6, when Street Fighter 5 has been out for so long. Yeah, games like Guilty Gear Strive, which like it's nothing that I played and it's nothing that you see people play a lot, but it has a niche audience. And then there's like the tournaments. I think that they very much ride off of that. And also it could be the US. Like I feel like those games are more popular as far as like big spectacles, big events, tournaments, and all that overseas. So no, I totally feel you. More than likely, I will probably play Tekken 8 because I am a Tekken head. I used to play a lot of Tekken. I played Tekken like way more than I did like Mortal Kombat, for example. He's just like slide the curtain over. We'll see. I might get it to see if I can review it or something like that. But and then I do feel you on like, it felt like a lot of the announcements seemed the same, like Rise of the Ronin, and then like the Yakuza game that they were talking about, which was Ishin Like a Dragon. Like it was just basically like two like samurai slasher games. Like, I mean, they looked kind of cool. One of them, the homie pulled out like a glider, like he was Aang, and I was like, hold up now, wait a minute though. Is he flying or is he? I might check it out, but we'll see. There was a lot that kind of just looked like a lot of the same. The talk is that hopefully there's a showcase, PlayStation showcase coming in November. And that was the point that was driven to me through those videos I was watching, was it could be the reason we're not seeing some of these, highly anticipated PS5 titles, is because they're waiting for God of War Ragnarok to release, get its reception, get all of its, all the views, all the sales, because they don't want to take attention away from that. That's why they're not announcing anything new. That's really heavy hitters. And I'm like, that makes sense. From a fan standpoint, it's like, that sucks. And from a content standpoint, because I need something to make videos on. But from a business standpoint, I totally get it. I'm excited for God of War Ragnarok, though. That looks like it's going to be fire. I'm actually going to be playing through the 2018 game on Twitch probably next month to like prepare.
Yeah, I can't wait, because I got the there was that whole thing with the Ultimate Edition selling out within like 5 minutes, but the Jotnar Edition. But I got the Deluxe Edition, and after seeing the stuff that the Deluxe Edition comes with, I was not disappointed, because I think I could be wrong. I think with the Jotnar Edition, you're really just getting like a map, and then maybe it's like a couple extra skins, which is like, okay, that's worth it. But at the same time, like I'm okay. So yeah, I got the Deluxe Edition. I'm super pumped for it, and November cannot come soon enough. That's all I can say.
No, 100% facts. So yeah, PlayStation State of Play was all right. On the other side of things, PlayStation did get another neat little early access thing. Those who pre-ordered Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation got early access beta yesterday. I did not pre-order it on PlayStation. How about you, Jacob? Do you really play Call of Duty like that?
No,
or
I'm not really a Call of Duty guy. I played it in middle school, and now it's just like, man, this isn't for me.
My bad, I was on mute. I started playing on my phone, and I was like, I'm gonna stay muted real quick. But oh shit, I have no clue what I just hit on my headphones. All right, well, this is what we're doing. All right, I fixed it. So yeah, I watched a little bit of people's gameplay on Twitch. One of my homies posted a clip on Twitter. 'Cause he has a PlayStation, he's playing it. It seems pretty cool. It's Call of Duty. I was just very much like, am I probably gonna play Warzone? Yes. It's gonna be Warzone 2.0 or whatever is what they're calling it. And that's gonna be free to play. However, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare game, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna pre-order it. Pre-ordering pretty much just gives you beta access. I could just wait for the open beta, which I think open beta is coming to PlayStation tomorrow, Sunday, September 18th at the time of this recording. So it'll be out by the time this episode's out for the audio listeners. And then I think next week you'll be able to play it open beta anywhere. So I was like, I'll just wait for the regular open beta. It's not something I'm super stoked about. I mean, it looks okay. I think the couple of people that I saw playing it on PlayStation were like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for this to come out on PC because it wasn't looking too good with the PlayStation version. It was a little bit choppy, a little bit buggy. So, but also it's a beta, so hopefully they'll fix it in the next month that they have before the game releases.
Yeah, and this is another one of those games for me where I'm just like, it feels the same over and over.
Yeah, it was literally what I was thinking about when you were mentioning like the Ghost of Tsushima style, and like it feels like everybody's kind of doing that now. Like Call of Duty is the same thing. I will say, Call of Duty. This is gonna be a little section. Call of Duty is pulling a Drake as far as like stealing the flows of other games because everybody was like, don't they do this in Rainbow Six? Like there was some map or some game mode that's like, this is Rainbow Six right now. And there was there's another game mode where it's like super sweaty and like it's really about like taking tight corners and getting the shot off first. And people are like, this feels like Valorant. Like apparently they put in some new game modes and play styles that are very much reminiscent of other shooter franchises. So they on that Drake
like,
flow.
You think about it, like the games that are trying new shit are the games that are going to be doing well. Like,
yep.
And I get that, like, maybe Spider-Man PS4 feels like all the other Spider-Man games because you really are doing the same thing. You're swinging, you're doing missions, same thing. But the fact is, those don't come out every 3 years. Whereas, like, with Modern Warfare, I feel like you got
every year.
I feel like you got a new one coming out every year. And the only thing I see as far as discourse online is people just saying, I love the Rust map. And it's just like, how old is the Rust map now, though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are really just playing the same game over and over. And that's fine. But, like, I just don't understand why they're selling it like that. You know, like with Fortnite, for example. Fortnite, to me, is literally the base game of Call of Duty. It's got a totally different art style, don't get me wrong. But it's the base game of Call of Duty. You got guns, you're shooting at people. You know, they're about to add in a first-person shooter, possibly, because that's been like out there rumored online. But then on top of that, like they also have shield that you can take, and then they have like the kegs you can throw down, the mushrooms, like and the llamas, like there's random shit in this game. But I feel like that's what tops it over the other games that are like it. And like even God of War, you know, is a game where you just walk around and you fight people, but like it's open world and it's a completely different kind of weapon. Like no other game has a kind of weapon where you can throw it at people, it comes back to you. You can also use it as like an axe. Like I'm just saying, people need to get a little bit more
creative.
Yeah. And like it's kind of getting to this point where it's like, okay, I'm tired of games where you just go around shooting people. Like, I'm fine with that kind of game, but you need to add a little oomph to it. You know what I mean?
The biggest thing, too, I saw with people playing the beta was they were like, dude, the beta's been out for like 6 hours. Why are you sweating? Like, there were people who were like already like had guns at like level 20. And there's like people were like, I'm trying to figure out the map. Like, why do you already know like the spawn point? People were getting spawn trapped in the beta. And it's like, why do you know the spawn points already, bro? Like, why is everyone trying so hard? And like the other thing too, Call of Duty actually did, they're bringing a third person mode too, actually. So on that Fortnite flow, like, oh, let's bring back, because they used to have third person. They used to have a third person shooter mode, and they did away with it at some point. But yeah, so no, I feel you. It's like you gotta innovate. And it's one of those things where I almost feel like, because they keep releasing COD games for purchase alongside Warzone, but I feel like at this point they should just be like, here's Warzone, here's like some expansions that you can do or get, or packs or whatever with COD points. And like within Warzone, even be like, here's Warzone TDM. Like, here's a smaller map in Warzone that's like TDM. Here's these smaller maps that we use for like search and destroy. I feel like them continuing to release a $60 Call of Duty game and then being like, you got to get this game because that way you can level up the guns that you want to use in Warzone, unless you want to just unlock them in Warzone and level them up slowly in Warzone. It's just kind of meh. It's just kind of meh. So,
and the thing is like you have other games out there that are, like I said, they're doing something a little different, but the a little different stuff is on top of them taking notes from the games that are just base games, like Call of Duty, for example. Like Fortnite's adding in, potentially, again, rumors are out everywhere online, the first person shooter, but like, they're taking that idea from Call of Duty, and then they took the idea of reboot vans from
Apex,
thank you. Mm-hmm. And like they're taking,
you're right, reboot vans weren't a thing before. I forgot.
No, yeah. And they're taking small ideas from other games, but on top of that, they're adding in their own thing, which isn't just IPs, it's an actual storyline. They're adding in like the changing of locations that happens like pretty much every 3 or 4 months, I feel like. I
swear to gosh, it does.
Fortnite is continuing, and I'm not trying to like be a Fortnite dick rider or anything, but I'm just saying Fortnite is continually changing the game, and that's what makes it interesting. When you have things like Call of Duty, a new map is really cool, don't get me wrong, but like you need brand new items that are complete game changers, that aren't just, oh, it's a different gun. Oh, it's a different gun. Like, you need different guns and something else.
Wholeheartedly agree. And like I recently got back into Warzone, and there are a few new special items. Some of them I still don't know what the fuck they do. But no, I totally feel you. It's just like, the other thing is they just took too long to do stuff for me. Like when they finally changed the map, I was just kind of like, yeah, but I'm bored of this game now. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore. So it's just like they need to innovate. And I'm here for it. Competition is what breeds it. Like Apex, their biggest thing is they have like their map rotations that they continually do, which I think is another smart idea. Is like, dude, like every month or two, like just rotate the maps that you already have. Apex rotates their maps. They release like a new hero, and it actually matters because like in Call of Duty, they release a new character and it's just a skin. It's just like, okay, I have a different character model, and maybe they have a different like, takedown or whatever, but it's nothing like crazy. But yeah, they need some type of like game changer to start standing out ahead of like, Fortnite and Apex. So, we'll see how it goes. Again, I might end up getting it. I really don't know. It's like I want to like Call of Duty again. I do, but it's just anyway. Another thing, because I know I mentioned a character in Call of Duty who, like, I think one of the skins that's like a different character model, they had a bat that they used for their takedown. And it is Batman Day. So if you've been playing Multiverses, which I haven't done in a minute, apparently there's some news over there as far as Batman goes.
Yeah, from the 16th, which was yesterday, to the 19th, all you got to do is play 3 matches as Batman, and you get a Batman profile pick for Batman Day. I think it's a pretty good deal. It's free, They also just added a week and a half ago, they added in Gizmo from Gremlins. So, I mean, I think Multiverses is continuing to go up. I'm still just kind of chilling out until Rick comes in. I think yesterday would have been a pretty great day to add him in because the new season of Rick and Morty came out. I'm shocked that he did. But yeah, like I feel like that would have been a good time to release him. But whatever. Maybe it's gonna connect somewhere on later on. But all I'm saying is, Batman profile pick free in multiverses, but only until the 19th. You got to play 3 matches. Just go ahead and do it. I'm all about that. When a game says, "Hey, you can have this item for free," even if I haven't played the game in months, I'm like, "Shit, yeah, I got to go back."
Yep, and
Like,
see, and that's what more games need to start putting in. Yeah, that's what more games got to start putting in. Is just like those little incentives matter, bro. Like what literally got me back into Fortnite was, hey, yo, like if you just finish this battle pass, you get a Spider-Man skin, and I'm like, I have enough V-Bucks still from the last time I played. That, and I've been playing Fortnite again ever since. So we love to see games innovate. Multiverses is another good one where, like, again, it may have its rise and fall, but they'll have like all these little events that are gonna bring people back. Because as Jacob said, like I haven't played Multiverses in a minute, but I'm gonna be hopping on to get that free Batman profile pick because free is for me. Now, moving on to something that's not free.
Now, speaking of free, simping over She-Hulk is still free.
I'm so dead. Oh my god,
bro! Yeah. I cannot tell you. Every episode, they give you at least one shot where you're like, "I'm sorry, She-Hulk is my new sexuality," but I'm just saying, this past episode of She-Hulk was crazy entertaining. It was a lawyer show, but it was also so drenched in Marvel. But it also didn't feel like it was too much of either. It was just very, very perfectly written, perfectly executed. She-Hulk is just going up. And at the end, Jordan, did you see who they teased for next week?
You know what's crazy? They teased someone for next week, and it wasn't as exciting as it could have been because they freaking put him in all of the marketing the entire time leading up to the show.
I would say, yeah, they put him in all the marketing. It definitely would have been a lot better if you just saw that and you were like,
I'm sorry.
I also feel like if they did that, a lot of people would have been like, Demolition Man? Which is like a guy who literally wore Daredevil's outfit but went by a different name. So I think there would have been a little bit of confusion, but I don't know. I freaked out even though I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I was happy too. The thing that did piss me off, it didn't piss me off, but it bothers me with the Disney Plus shows, is that after that happened, I sat there and I waited for a post-credit scene and there was nothing. And there's no problem with not having a post-credit scene, but I just need them to pick either having one or not having one, because the one that really got me was WandaVision, because they didn't have one for like 3 episodes, and then at like the 5th episode I like saw something online and I was like, wait, there was a post-credit scene? Like I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think with especially with all 4 of the first episodes having it, you would think that they only have 5 more episodes. Like I'm sure that they already have at least planned at least 2 more post-credit scenes. So I mean, you're really just asking for 3 extra post-credit scenes, which like they can make something up. Like it's not that hard. But I will say the clip, we got to see an exclusive clip of Daredevil because they didn't have anything for the Daredevil show, but they wanted to show us Daredevil period. So they showed us an exclusive clip of Daredevil coming in to She-Hulk, and I'm just going to say their interactions, perfect. And if you're not attracted to She-Hulk now, you can be a little bit more attracted to her later. That's all I got to say.
I mean, all the promo had her not in that bulky ass fucking double XL grown men big and tall suit. So I would assume that some of them clothes that homie made, the drip broker, that joint. By the way, I just realized
other people were like, he's not the drip broker. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the drip broker is his friend Alonzo's hookup, but this guy Luke Jacobson is not the drip broker. And I'm like, homie should be the drip broker because this guy's got a good amount of outfits coming out.
I completely forgot that his friend Alonzo was the one who was. But I will say, I just realized the drip broker is a very funny play off the power broker from Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Weird
But
tongue-in-cheek.
it did just hit me. First of all, I'm sure we'll figure it out. But I saw so many videos that had a fair point, and it was just like, why? Actually, sorry, I also just realized I still need to make a video about the Donnie Blaze thing. I want anyone to know, if you're listening to this, Marvel got your ass again. I found out Marvel apparently be doing that on purpose. They throw in little things that might be Easter eggs to fool people. And I'm sure that they laugh about it. But a lot of videos like just trying to like theorize, why what's happening is happening. Why is Daredevil getting a new suit? And it is a fair point to say, what the fuck is Daredevil doing in LA? Like, because this is West Coast. I forgot that this is West Coast.
Here's the other thing though, like, and I'm not going to say anything that was like part of the clip that we got. I am thinking maybe Daredevil is representing somebody within the
Superhuman Law Division.
Superhuman Law Division, and he had to come to LA to do this trial, and he's just going to come like move on back. But as they said publicly now, Daredevil Reborn Again is
a reboot.
It's a reboot. Yeah, it's a brand new thing. It's not them continuing on with the story. Daredevil, we haven't seen this Daredevil fight Kingpin. We've seen the same actors fight each other as Daredevil and Kingpin, but it's a completely different thing. So I'm excited for them to move on from that story or retell it in a way that they want. But I think we only have things to look forward to in She-Hulk. It's only going to get better, and especially with that post or not the mid credits picture of Alonzo's shoe collection. And homie had some crazy shoes in there. He had Namor shoes. He had Ben Grimm the Thing shoes. He had Deadpool shoes. People were like, Deadpool's first appearance in the MCU? Are you kidding? Like they're like throwing in a lot more lately, and people are waiting on hand and knee for Deadpool, for the Fantastic Four. Like people are just waiting.
Man, it is it's looking good. It's looking bright. That is good to know. I remember I did see Charlie Cox say something about like, I can't remember if he said he wanted it or didn't want it to be slapstick or whatever. And I don't really understand what that phrase means.
Oh, it's like they were saying that, we're going to see a little bit of a funnier side of Daredevil. And
everyone's going to be mad then.
And yeah, like everybody was like, oh my gosh, like this is so stupid. And people aren't like, from the clip that we saw, homie was funny, but it was still Daredevil. Like he was more of like the sassy kind of funny. Like it wasn't just like he slipped on a banana peel. Like it's people think that they're gonna ruin the character. It's really the same character. He's just being a little bit more chummy with Jen. And that's
yeah. I
slapstick is Jordan. I don't know where the like exact term came from, but it means more like physical comedy, like very dumb comedy, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just so confused by that interview he had real quick, and they said that. I was like, I mean, all right, but yeah, let me see how I feel about it. I'm not mad at it being a reboot. I guess it's really interesting that nobody's made any videos about it, but I'm sure that there's plenty of people who maybe feel away because, there have obviously been like all those theories of like, did Daredevil get dusted? And so then Kingpin like took back over the city or whatever. But as you said, if this is a reboot, then this Daredevil has never interacted with Kingpin or possibly never interacted with Kingpin. Who knows? They could skip the whole origin story mess and maybe he has interacted with Kingpin, and Kingpin is kind of like on some on Spider-Man PS4 where like Kingpin's just always finding a way to get out of jail or whatever. So
that's just kind of like this whole thing. But on top of that, speaking of women who are strong badasses, who are also sexy as hell, who on top of that don't have a natural skin color, and on top of that want to not be a superhero and want to do their own thing, but actually end up becoming a superhero. It's crazy how similar these two are.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn just finished its third season now. And it's already been approved for a fourth season, which thank God. That's all I gotta say is season 3 and season 4 of Titans and Harley Quinn are now continuing. So I'm pumped. That's all I gotta say is I'm excited for the future of all this stuff to be coming out. I'm sorry, that's my Discord, y'all. I'm trying to close it out.
I was like, you need to mute them motherfuckers. I was like, what is that?
But yeah, the finale, like, not to ruin anything for anyone, but as vague as I can, the finale was amazing. It stayed true to every character. It also showed you like huge relationship goals between Ivy and Harley. And all I'm going to say is I cannot wait to see next season because I think it's really going to kick ass.
Do you think that the next season might be the last? Do you feel like this is going to be one of those things where like it's reaching its apex and they're probably reaching where it could be at that point of like we're going to go out with this bang, and even though people might want more, we're going to leave them wanting more?
I think that this next season should be their last.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, y'all know corporate executives and being like, but it's making us money. This, I think, though, with how the story is Harley Quinn's story. Like, even though it's got all these other side characters going through shit, the story's Harley Quinn. Her arc, in my opinion, is hitting its peak right now at the very end of season 3. So I think season 4 can explore that more, but I think the end of season 4 should be the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And that's like their best bet, in my opinion, of making it perfect and in that sweet spot where it's not tainted by other seasons like other shows like The Office and shows that have continued on maybe a little bit longer than they should have.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest point of that question is like it's gotten so much hype, and like seeing the internet reception of before the season 3 finale, it got renewed for season 4 and how excited everyone is. And then also it's that thing of like you would rather see a show finished than see it canceled. Yeah. Like I would rather see it have a defined ending as opposed to just having a season and then being like, yeah, we're never coming back. Like, I'm sorry. I know people feel a way about Iron Fist, but for them to end that season the way that they did, and then like 2 months later be like, it's canceled. It's just like, what could have been, that I wanted to make sense of what the end that I just saw was. Same thing with like I need to go through. I'm glad that Disney is still giving us access to all of those shows, because I need to go through and watch like those final seasons of like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, just to give like a comparison even of what's to come with their reboots. Because I think Jessica Jones, not to get off topic, but Jessica Jones is possibly getting rebooted too, right? Because didn't they change the title on Disney Plus?
They changed the title. It was Jessica Jones, period. Now it's what is it?
I'll have to look now.
AKA Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones title change. Yeah, it's called All of Which Start with AKA. Yeah.
Okay.
AKA Jessica Jones. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So I'm willing to bet they're going to reboot it, especially because Kristen Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones, and Mike Coulter, who played Paige, they were seen together, right? They're seen together a couple times now, and they also posted on Instagram like a picture of the two of them. So like people are like, "Yo, is this coming back or is this coming back? Like, let us know." And these people hang out. I mean, they obviously made relationships and friendships during the show, so like it could be something. It also could very well not be something. But while we're on the topic, and before I forget, I just want to say to anybody who is a fan like me because they grew up with it as a child, on the 13th, or I'm sorry, 13th? Yeah, on the 13th this past week, Bear in the Big Blue House was added to Disney Plus. So if y'all grew up with that shit, it's time to watch it again because I love that show. That show was so good.
I remember all the hype when Disney Plus, like, so when Disney Plus was announced, I will tell the truth. I was like most people, another streaming service.
Oh, dude, I was the complete opposite. I was
None
so
of this. Why? And then there's a Kev on Stage video. Maybe I'll show it to the podcast next time. I'll show it to you later, Jacob. But I remember he was like, I know I was complaining about another streaming service, but then they announced their titles, and now I'm all in when they were like Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, all this shit that I have yet to go back and watch at all. I was like, yeah, I'm getting Disney Plus because they have all this nostalgia, and then I haven't watched any of it. I literally have watched so much new stuff and none of the old stuff.
I feel like the new stuff is like overpowering, so I don't even have time. Yesterday, I did just finish the X-Men animated series.
Hell yeah.
Which such a solid show, but I can't wait for that to be, they're rebooting that, so I'm excited for that to come back out. I need to
go watch that too. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's too much. Speaking of too much, always too much. They're always just. This is how I am about these movies.
This is a part of the show that we're gonna start calling the deep sigh section.
I like that.
The same two companies, bro, and I don't know what it is, but it's always WB and it's always Sony.
Yep. And we got new release dates for the Sony Marvel films. Go figure.
And they're not closer. They're further away.
I was gonna say, and they're not sooner. They're later. Kraven the Hunter has been delayed to October 6, 2023. Madam Web delayed to February 16th, 2024. And an untitled Sony Marvel film set to release July 12th, 2024.
I'm guessing that one is going to be the untitled one is probably going to be the one that Bad Bunny is playing in.
Oh, El Muerto? Yeah. Does anyone know what the original release dates were? Because honestly, I'm scrolling through this thread hoping that someone would say it, and I'm not seeing an answer.
No, but I know they were much sooner than that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Sorry, if you were watching the video version, I just went and liked a friend's tweet because it was funny. But yeah, so the Sony Marvel films are getting delayed. Honestly, I don't know. I don't pretend to know how it works in this corporate and business world. But gaming and movies have been having these issues. Bro, just put a year and then don't announce a date until like filming is finished. Like, please. I'm tired. It's not like I was really checking for these anyway. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jacob, I know that how you feel about Sony specifically, like if it's not directly affiliated with Marvel, like Spider-Man movies are technically Sony, but when it comes to these movies, do you decide to go to see them at the theater cheap? Do you just go on like a cheap day, or do you just wait for them to come to like streaming services? Because I hear
they still need my money because you
want to support the cast, crew, and all that stuff.
Not even that. I'm the kind of fan that like I don't want to be told anything about Spider-Man as a huge Spider-Man fan.
True.
Like, if you're a fan of something, like you want to be the leading expert on that thing, True. Like for me, I can't not go see the movie. Even Venom 2, I like saw an opening night, even though I knew going in this movie's gonna be shit. And the same thing with Morbius. I was like, this movie's gonna be shit. But I walk in thinking like, it's gonna be bad. I still just need to know what happens so that way I can at least have conversations about it and continue to tell people that Sony needs to stop. The thing with me is, though, if y'all think about it, when I say Spider-Man, a lot of people don't just think Peter Parker. They think Miles Morales. They think Gwen Stacy. They think Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. They think Spider-Man Noir. All of these names that I'm naming, even Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, like all of these names, Sony has access to and they can make full films off of.
And they
Like,
just
they can
don't.
make a whole Spider-Man series with Spider-Man Noir. And like, maybe that's not something people would want, but you could definitely make one with Ben Reilly. You could make one with Peter Parker. Like, they could make a whole separate series, brand new Spider-Man, not Toby, not Andrew, not Tom. Make a whole brand new one, but they're choosing not to. And I don't understand. Like, it's just like, you guys have the ability. You have the ability.
You got
Why
all
don't
the
you-
money. You got all the
They could
rights.
even make an animated like movie with just Spider-Ham and it just be a comical movie for kids. But no, I will say the only thing that I have respect for with Sony is Sony Animation and them doing some Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, whatever it is. They're literally killing the game with those movies. That's the only reason I want to see Sony continue on with Spider-Man. This live action shit, it's not for them. It's not.
Yeah, I don't understand. And again, maybe it's just because it's different teams, but you're still under the same umbrella. Bring some of your animated writers over for your live action. Cause like what I just don't understand is doesn't El Muerto have like one comic issue? Like, I'm not
He's
saying that
literally
that
only
means
had two appearances, and I think he's only said like 4 words.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, don't take a chance on a. Here's the difference between like taking a chance on an unpopular character and just throwing shit at the wall. I'm like, who asked for this? I honestly, I can't truthfully say that you might catch me in the theater for some of these. Yeah, I've been hearing that sometimes it's easy as 1, 2, 3 to see some movies. That's all I'm gonna say, allegedly.
No,
Because
I'll say that I'll count to 3 for El Muerto, but
yeah,
Craven, I'll be in the theater for that shit.
Craven, I'm a little bit interested in. Madam Web, I'm sort of interested in, but again, I'm just like Madam Web. Honestly, I'm probably interested in more than any of them because it explores other spider people. Hopefully, kind of like what you're saying. Like y'all have all these other characters. Please,
Utilize.
please, just use it. Use it. We could have been had a Spider-Man 2099 movie. We could have been had. I would watch a Spider-Man noir
Why are they
movie.
making if they're making the El Muerto movie, right? Who only has 2 comics or 2 appearances. They aren't even his comic. Like, there's nothing under the name El Muerto. If he only has these 2 appearances, if they're trying to do it for like a Hispanic representation point of view, Spider-Man 2099 is literally right there. He's right there. They have him. They can make the movie. It doesn't make any freaking sense that they're like, hey, what about this one-off character? How about we use him? And especially because if you're going to use Bad Bunny, which the Latinx community is going to go see that movie, if you're going to use him, just make it an original story or make it a character that people are actually interested in.
Like, yeah, like, because I'm sorry, I saw El Muerto. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, well, I did, and I'm a hardcore Spider-Man fan. I was like, what? It's just like, who the hell? And I'm like, it's just some fucking wrestler? Like, what?
I
made a
don't know.
wrestling movie not tied to Spider-Man at all and made it starring Bad Bunny, and I would have been like, oh, hell yeah, this sounds great.
Yeah. As we said, the size section, that's hilarious. That really might be what we call anytime we address WB or Sony, because it's just always something.
We're going to have comics, games, movies, and then the size section, which is going to have all of them, but it's going to be like, what the hell are they doing?
It's just like, why are we doing this? Something that some people are really excited for and others are saying, why are y'all doing this? I saw yesterday Warner Brothers, I guess it still belongs in the side section, is developing a sequel to Constantine. 17 years, 5 more years than the 12 years that I thought earlier when I was telling Jacob, after the original film's release. And Keanu Reeves will reprise the titular role with Francis Lawrence returning to direct. As I scroll through this thread, someone said, y'all are just going to waste one of the best castings y'all ever done, I guess. And they have the Constantine from Legends of Tomorrow, like we were talking about, Jacob. So I don't know. There are some people. I know one of my mutual society made the Joker. She was like, "I'm cool with bringing Constantine back, but why are y'all getting Keanu Reeves again? Like, y'all have if y'all are starting anew. I don't think she said this part. This is me adding on. If y'all are starting anew, trying to start fresh, why are we bringing back and continuing a movie from 17 years ago?"
At this point, I'm like, man, why am I not in charge of the DC movies? Like, am I overqualified? Am I overqualified at this point? Because I'm just like, the last thing I would do is bring back someone who played a role 20 years ago, unless it was going to be a multiversal movie like Spider-Man No Way Home, The Flash with, obviously the Flashpoint with there being a Batman like Michael Keaton. But like, why that's like them saying, hey, y'all, you remember Brandon, I don't even remember his full name, but Brandon from Superman Returns.
Brandon Routh.
Was that his name?
Yeah, he was also in The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. And then when they did multiversal crossover, he got to be Superman again. It was kind of cool.
It's just like, we're going to bring back him for another Superman movie. It's like, why? Like, it's just like, I'm down to watch it, but why? Out of all the things you could be doing right now, I would just be focusing on making a connected universe that isn't rushed and isn't filled with controversial people.
Yeah. And Joker had another fair point. She was like, oh, y'all want money. That's another fair point. The star power of Keanu Reeves will bring people into those seats.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the first Constantine 17 years ago.
I haven't either. So maybe it's one of those movies that people really are begging for a sequel to. But I mean, if it's been 17 years to get off the ground, maybe it's not worth it.
Oh, shit. It came out in 2005. Like, what audience are you catering to? Like, I don't understand. But that's really funny. Our side section, I didn't even think about the fact that Constantine would be WB, and it still worked out that our side section worked out the way that it did. That is absolutely hilarious. One thing that I do want to talk about that is not on the docket, but it really should have been, and I found it real quick. Really neat fan cast that happened this week that honestly people, including myself, are down to see. Keke Palmer has expressed interest to be Rogue in the MCU, and I'm actually going to find her tweet because I saw the dude's video who made it on TikTok, and I'm really hoping, I think he has. I think I checked his TikTok page and he's seen that Keke Palmer saw his tweet. She responded, "Come on, agent." I'm hoping that homie who actually brought this up, he didn't bring it up. I actually think someone else brought it up and he just commented more on it. And he was like, I think Keke Palmer cast as Rogue would be awesome. Like, you could bring her on as Storm or Bumblebee or whatever, like Bumblebee in DC or Storm in the MCU, but no, let's bring her on as Rogue. People started finding these pictures with Keke with her hair red. Someone edited, I think, a picture of her where her hair was red and they put the white on it, and I'm like, I see it, and I'm here for it. And at this point, people got so up in arms and so mad that I want to see it to just make them more mad, if anything else.
I literally tweeted the other day, I was like, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed.
I mean,
after seeing the edited picture of her with a white streak in her hair, which I think you may end up finding here in a second, but I'm telling you, that picture is spot on. Like,
this one isn't even it, but like, here's one of them.
Oh no, like literally, it's Rogue. Like, fuck it. And I'm gonna be honest, there are certain characters in comics where where they made them white, but you're like thinking like, nah, this person.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Someone was like, because again, this goes back to, because obviously the argument wants to be, but if they made Blade white, but if they made T'Challa white, those characters specifically are described as in situations that pertain to their character being black, being a part of their character. Rogue really is just a mutant, and she's from south of the Mississippi. You could look like anything. And honestly, with her accent, her being a Southern black woman makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. And on top of that, like, I wouldn't, and a lot of people have been saying this for a while, and I wouldn't.
This is the one.
That's the one. Yeah, I would not be shocked. People keep saying Lakeith. Wait, hold up, Jubilee content.
Someone said Makiki is Rogue. Me trying to manifest Terry Hugh as Jubilee for the X-Men.
I love that. But anyway, people have been saying it for a while. But Lakeith Stanfield as Gambit, the two of them would be literally fucking perfect, and no one can tell me anything else.
Like, here's another one.
Imagine Keke Palmer standing up there with Lakeith Stanfield, and Lakeith Stanfield having that like Gambit swagger, and Keke Palmer just being Rogue and being like, "Get off of me!" Like, come on, boy, like leave me alone.
I can't find the actual edit that I want to find, but yes, no, I'm hearing you.
They're perfect for the role. Like, I can understand maybe not having Lakeith Stanfield because he's in a very like, he always plays a very like serious role that has something to do with social injustice, and you know, being in the Marvel universe may not be for him. That's fine with me, but I will be upset if Keke Palmer is not Rogue. I'm just gonna
I'm here for it. And I think the dude's original video, I think he maybe addressed Lakeith Stanfield. I have to go back and watch it. But he also bring up the fair point. It could go either way. Lakeith Stanfield would be cool, but then even if they got someone white, you could then also bring in a little bit of the tension that there is of an interracial relationship, which like
True.
That would be cool too. And
I could be wrong, but I feel that, well, before I even say that, interracial relationships are highly, like, they're not even touched on in Hollywood, which is fucking stupid. But I will say that within the MCU, I feel like there aren't any.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. There really aren't. Someone also brought up the fair point that like Gambit's supposed to be kind of like a con man, trickster, and some people were like, let's keep a white man in that light. Like, no offense, it's
I feel that.
Yeah. So, and obviously, this is where the happiness also does get a little side section, but we're gonna segment it. We're gonna sandwich it with some positivity afterward. Racists are mad that Keke Palmer doesn't have red hair like Rogue, when Rogue doesn't even have red hair. Rogue. This is the sunset on reflecting off of her brown hair, and this person commented under that Star Wars girl, which that's a whole nother thing. She just responded LOL, and people jumped down her throat. And then this person responded, one day gingers will get their due respect, and someone's like, she's not even a fucking ginger, dude. And it's like, why are redheads replaced? And it's like, yo, she's a brunette. Like Rogue's not a redhead, bro.
And like Jordan and I were talking about this last night. That question does have a little bit of merit. Like, why is it always the gingers that are like recast as black people? It's weird. It's a weird thing that Hollywood does. But at the same time, like,
it's not a problem.
I don't need fucking representation for my hair color. I'm sorry. I don't. My skin color,
hair color and freckles.
Skin color, I can completely understand for everybody. But your hair color, fuck it.
I don't know.
Get over it.
I don't get it. And the funniest thing about it is like people say, and because I get that you say that you get it, but the problem is it's white gingers who say that as if they're the only gingers who exist. Like gingers exist in mixed race, black, Hispanic. Like I don't understand why y'all think that you're the only people with red hair and freckles that exist. One of my best buddies he when he grows his hair out, and he's black guy, semi straight. He's got 2 black parents. He's got crazy freckles, but he's not light skinned either. He's like maybe a little lighter than I am, and he's got freckles. And like I don't really understand why y'all don't get that, like, different features and hair color and texture and skin can look all different through all ethnicities and races. But you know, it excuse me, I'm dying. I remember this is back when there was a whole controversy excuse me, on TikTok. Jacob knows what I'm talking about, where this dude did decide to die on the hill of gingers need to get their just due and representation. They're always being replaced by people of color. First of all, half of those characters, it's not like their natural hair color is red. And even when they were played by white people, it wasn't by white people who were gingers. Kirsten Dunst was not a ginger, but she played Mary Jane. Also, Mary Jane, his hair was always colored like a very unnatural red, but whatever. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm like, does it really matter? And then
the other thing is, like, the homie was fixating on gingers that have been have been recast as black people. They've been doing that shit, like, even just as other hair. Like, Daredevil is a red Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. And Charlie Cox is
he
not a redhead.
He didn't want to focus on that one. He wanted to focus on the Little Mermaid and Jimmy Olsen and all these other characters that are redheads but have been turned, black now. And it's just like, let me get over it.
It's
like what you said. The people playing these redheaded characters, even if they are redheaded in the show, aren't redheaded themselves. Like you said with Kirsten Dunst, with Jodie Benson playing the Little Mermaid in the original 1989 Little Mermaid. Like, the people that are playing these characters aren't redhead. You're not getting representation. All you're getting is just people pretending to be redhead. And if you think that your redheadedness is a lifestyle and has like societal like implications, like,
please stop.
Like, what?
Yeah, and I think just way back with that guy, it was like December of last year. It was just like, yeah, this is like, it is kind of weird that they always do this, but I think there was an actual redhead who went on and explained it was like, there are a lot of like distinctions when it comes to redheads that are similar with black people. Like, I'm gonna be honest, redheads typically tend to have wider noses, and different stuff like that. So it's just like, again, there are features that are similar, but when it comes down to it, it's just that your hair is red. There are redheads who are not white. So, like, again, let's be honest, you want white redhead representation. And again, you still haven't been getting it when these characters have been cast as white people. Like, you're not.
And I'm
Oh, sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, but the Mary Jane that was supposed to appear in The Amazing Spider-Man, Shailene Woodley was not having red hair in them deleted scenes.
And like, I feel like the discourse on it is so confusing to me because it happens with some characters and then it doesn't happen with others. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I've just missed it, but like, whenever Man of Steel was coming out, you got Lawrence Fishburne as I can't remember his name.
The Daily Planet's
like basically like the editor in chief. You got him coming out there. You've got can't remember his name again, but we talked about him last night. The guy who played the Watcher and who also played Jim Gordon in The Batman. Those characters within DC were not white, and even in Marvel, like if you go back and watch,
you're right. By the way,
the Watcher definitely is not white. And he originally in the comics was white. And if you go back and watch it, like they gave him a little bit more melanin. You can see it in like his nose shape. Like he's definitely a black man. And I'm just like, why is there no discourse on those characters? But racists and other people want to come in and be like, the Little Mermaid, like, it's very confusing to me, the hills that people choose to die on. Because I'm like, I can understand. I would not understand. I would completely expect comic book fans, with comic book fans being the kind of people that they are sometimes, I would
Erotic
expect
as
them to be
hell.
like, you're recasting blank and blank as a black person. I would be like, oh my god, here we go again. But
Here we go.
with people going at the Little Mermaid, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe comic book fans deserve more credit because they've seen so much integration of other cultures other than white people within comic book culture that now they're decent human beings and they just either shut up and don't say anything, or they're just like, I'm rocking with it, I like it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe comic book people are better people because of that. But at the same time, like, there are so many characters that I'm so confused. Like, I can't think of another one besides the Little Mermaid right now, but like the Little Mermaid is one. When they recast
People.
like, maybe
Oh,
I wasn't old enough, I was only 3 at the time, but when they recast Brandy as Cinderella for Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, like, I don't think I've ever heard any discourse about that. And I'm just like, y'all really like pick and choose some weird ass battles.
I don't get it because, again, yeah, and also it's just where we are with the internet these days. I think the characters, by the way, I looked up their names. Perry White, that's
That's
the
right.
Daily Planet's editor. Yeah, no one thought anything. At least as far as I know, I don't remember seeing a bunch of you put Lawrence, because a lot of people love Lawrence Fishburne because of the Matrix. Though you put Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White, nobody said his last name was White, and nobody said anything about it. Uh, and then Jeffrey Wright was Jim
That's right.
Gordon in the
Yep.
Batman. I mean, there probably was a little bit of discourse, but it just, people were either checking for the Batman or they weren't. More people were more concerned about how Robert Pattinson was going to do. Sorry, y'all, that dad time is coming. So the other thing.
I want to say one more thing while we're on this topic.
Oh, no, I do too, because I want to say something about the Little
I
Mermaid
liked
that
this
happened
tweet
on
last
Twitter.
night and I was dying. It says, motherfuckers in 2022 would call this woke. I don't know if you could.
Oh, I liked that.
Yeah,
Yes, I tweeted about that.
it's
It's
literally,
like,
and I don't remember his
yeah.
name, but he played Kingpin in Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie, and fucking great casting, by the way.
Oh,
But
he's
like,
absolutely amazing.
it was so good. But like,
Michael Clark Duncan. That's
here's
his
another
name.
one. Somebody said, let's go even further back. It's Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. Like, literally Yzma herself as Catwoman. Nobody said shit then. I'm just like, why are y'all like so fucking weird about like our racist? Oh, here's another one. Harvey Dent being literally Lando Calrissian himself. What's his name? Billy D. Williams. Like, there's so many in the past that nobody has said shit about. And
Because
now that I'm realizing, maybe it's because it's the main character. Maybe white people are so mad because it's the main character.
maybe when it's a side character. I mean, people did want to give shit to Zoe Kravitz for Selena Kyle, but like a little bit though. You obviously had the simps overpowering a little bit more, And I'm
Here's
not
another
saying
one.
that in a derogatory way. I mean, I was there with them.
Nobody said anything about Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson.
No, that's the biggest one to me. Samuel L. Jackson showed up as Nick freaking Fury at the
Which
end
was
of Iron Man.
God tier casting, by the way.
And I just remember being like, Samuel L. Jackson. And I remember playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance and being like, I like the black Nick Fury better. Didn't he become so popular that they made him black in the comics? Because he wasn't black ever in the comics before that. Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like, and here's the problem, and that's why when it comes to Little Mermaid, Amanda just vibed and said something about this too. People don't actually care about source material. They just want to talk. Because again, the source material for Marvel, Nick Fury was white. But when people saw him in Iron Man, a lot of times that was the first time they ever saw Nick Fury. And in their minds, that is Nick Fury. And if you were to, I might steal your video idea, like what you did with the Little Mermaid, and be like, you do know Nick Fury was like white originally, right? And it's just like,
and then they get mad, and you're like, what?
The last thing I want to say about the Little Mermaid, which is way off topic from what we were, but we it kind of was on topic. Black people casting,
We're still
whatever.
in this high section.
It wasn't supposed to be, and it ended up being. But excuse me, I'm pretty sure I made this dude delete his tweet. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was just everybody going at him. But this guy tweeted to Tyrell today, Theories by T, This guy tweeted and responded to T and was like, I don't have a problem. Hold on, I'm sorry. I got to get myself together for this, y'all, because he deleted the tweet, so I can't even show y'all. He was like, I don't have a problem with Ariel being cast as Black. I just don't find Halle Bailey attractive, and I just think they should have given a more attractive casting. And timeout. Okay, what's up?
She's supposed to be 17, by the way.
That's what I said. I'm like, despite what you think about Halle Bailey, which I didn't know if in this adaptation she was going to be 16 or whatever, but I know in the original, oh yeah, because she's 16 and it's her birthday, so she's turning 17.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you worried about how physically attractive that you personally find a 16-year-old fictional character? And Mans responded to my tweet and said, 16? I didn't know that she was supposed to be that age. So you didn't even pay attention to the original movie. So why are you talking?
It all goes back to what Amanda said. People don't care about the source material. They just want to talk.
And as Bo Burnham said, and as we say many times on this podcast, can anyone shut the fuck up? Please. So we're done with the side section.
Well,
Keke
actually,
Palmer.
one more side section for everyone. Garfield's delayed. We're not going to talk about it anymore, other than the fact that Chris Pratt is voicing that and Mario at the same time.
Just like, okay.
Side section over.
Yeah, Chris Pratt
should be Rogue. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
Chris Pratt is becoming like, again, in that same vein of like, you know, when they were like really trying to shove us Miles Teller or really shoving a lot of Kevin Hart in Hollywood. Like, again, I didn't mind Kevin Hart as much because it's definitely one of those, you live long enough to be a hero, you see yourself become a villain. It's like, damn, everybody really hating because you're in everything. But like, also, why do you need to voice Garfield? And why do you need to voice Mario? But yes, ending on the positive note, Keke Palmer, please. The streets are asking. We are clipping this out. We are saying this now. The Daily Kazoo Podcast supports Keke Palmer for Rogue. I don't care what it's in, if it's a TV show, if it's a movie, something. Keke Palmer as Rogue from south of the Mississippi. I want to hear her say sugar.
I feel like it only feels right when a Black woman says sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a white woman says sugar, you're kind of like, what the fuck?
Did the original Rogue in like the X-Men movies, did she ever even say it?
I don't think she ever said it in the live action movies. In the animated cartoon, she says sugar, and it's just like, okay, like I can kind of understand the animated one saying it, but if I see a white woman in person say that, it does not feel right.
There is this old white chick on that was kind of rude to say. She's an older white lady, very southern on TikTok. I think her name is TikTok Mama or something like that. I think she be like, well, she's from like Georgia, it's like Southern Georgia. Like she could say it, but again, you got to be very specific. But no, I stand behind Keke Palmer's Rogue. I did not. As we talk about it, I'm like, I don't think the original one ever said sugar. Did she ever? I don't even think.
One last time for the Twitter sphere, the TikTok sphere. Keke Palmer, if you're hearing this out there, we'll do anything for you. And if you work hard and you push this and you get to be in a movie as Rogue, I'll fly down to Hollywood myself and make sure I get in that front row seat. Please.
You remember that TikTok sound? It'd be like, sit back down. I'm sad.
I'm sad.
In that theater.
That's Keke Palmer on screen as Rogue. That is it.
Yeah. So we're excited for that. I don't have anything else. This was supposed to be oh wait, there is one more thing. I apologize. The last thing I'll say is whether you agree with this or not, I didn't ever watch this, but this was hilarious. This probably could have been the best thing I've seen all week instead. But this little clip from the Zack Snyder crossover with Teen Titans Go was actually kind of fire looking.
This was Zack Snyder's take on.
Let's go wild on these fools!
Show is so goofy.
Where did the rain come from?
Who cares? The rain made makes this battle look way more epic.
It actually does look like it was interesting. That wasn't the clip I saw this morning, but what I saw was like the interaction with Zack Snyder, and then it faded to that, and I didn't realize that that's what happened in the episode. I saw this clip, and then I saw that clip, and I was like, oh, they legit did this in the Teen Titans Go episode. They just randomly had this whole different animation style. That's hilarious. So I don't know. You know, the Snyder Cut was I don't care what anybody says. Like, I enjoyed it. Was it better than what we originally got? Sure. Would a Zack Snyder style Teen Titans movie be cool? Maybe, but it was a fun little watch. I would watch a whole animated movie that looked like that. I'm not gonna hold you. So that's all that I have. Jacob, did you have anything else?
No. I will say Q, the app is popping off. People are a lot of people are downloading it right now. A lot of people are getting in on the Discord. So if you haven't joined that yet, I would join it. I just wrote my review for Wolverine and the new Elvis movie that came out, and they're on there. And I'm curious to see what other people think. So if you don't have Q, go download it. It's in the Apple App Store. Probably worth a Google, to quote Zach Galifianakis as the Joker. But that's all.
Them green bubble phones don't got it.
I'm excited to see next week all three of us finally back. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and then that's going to be what I'm on the precipice of being off of leave. I've really been enjoying, even though I'm very blessed to have a job. I don't know how I'm going to have a job and deal with these animals and deal with this child, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'm going to go take a nap after this. So me, multi-streams coming for Twitch and TikTok. Stay tuned for that. Twitch.tv/JPhrygian. Follow me over there. JPhrygian at TikTok. If you're listening to this, you probably already follow it because you probably heard about the podcast from it. So go to Twitch. Also been having a lot of stuff popping off on the YouTube channel. Had a new video come out just 2 days ago now. Was on some thoughts about Spider-Man 2 and not getting any gameplay. It's pretty decent. So yeah, my YouTube link will be in the description below. Just links to many of your co-host socials, including Adam, even when he's not on the episode, will be in the description box. Again, if you listen all the way through, wish a happy birthday to his wife. Go ahead and hit the like button on the video. Rate us 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, whatever you're listening to for your podcast needs. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're listening to the audio or you're watching a clip from anywhere. Help us out. We're steadily growing. This is our 17th, 18th episode. I can't freaking remember. I actually think it's the 17th episode, but it's numbered 16 and I numbered it wrong. I don't care. But yeah, nothing new for me. You can find the official Megs on social media. The official Megs, go follow him too. I'll do his little spiel for him. I sound tired, so I'm gonna go. We don't have Adam's button, so as always,
we love you 3000.
We love you 3000. Everybody, thank you for watching, and you'll catch us on the next episode of the Daily Kazoo. Peace.